Okay, so here's decision time. So if I was to decide to keep this sweater, I would need to decrease the size. So if I drop down to a medium, I would, let's see, 1, 2. I would have to go down to row 19. And this is the part I don't like, is the color work. The way this one up top is not so bad, but when it gets down here into these huge blocks, it looks like a mess to me. I don't like it at all. So if I were to go back to the medium size, I'm not sure if that's going to take it back far enough to cut all that out. So let's see. I'll start unraveling, and then I'll check back with you guys when I get there and show you where we're at. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm back now, and I'm on my last row before I need to stop. Okay, so this is row 19. This is where I would join my new yarn. But I still think there's just too much of that color pooling. I do not like. I mean, it does look better, but it's still not enough. So I'm going to be saying goodbye to this one. Instead of just picking up there and making it smaller. That's just too much. Okay, a winding we will go. Okay, we're down to the collar. So that was 28 hours of work that I lost. But I would rather undo it than have something take another 20 hours and then absolutely never wear it or like it. I know I'll find something good to use this yarn for. I didn't lose any of it. So as it stands, I still have 100 yards of that. I've got all of these, and it'll piece together very easily. There's that. This is my other skein. I had 2 of those, and then I didn't even get into that one. So I just need to find a project for them now. Okay, I do have a few things I want to share with you guys, so I'll be back as soon as I get set up for my regular podcast. Okay. Hello. Again, thank you and welcome to my channel. I'm Shannon from Shannon at 112th Street. And I'd like to welcome you. We've got some new subscribers. I'm so excited that you're going to be here. So what you seen me doing earlier was a sweater that I had started on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and it wasn't working out for me. So my plan is to have 1 knit sweater and 1 crocheted sweater done every quarter. So by the end of the year, I should have 4 of each. The knit sweater is complete. I'll link it here and you'll be able to see it there. But the one that I was crocheting, the pooling was just, I didn't like it. The size was too big for one. And then the pooling made the color change and they just weren't working together. So I ended up frogging it. So it's kind of hard to frog out 28 hours of work, but definitely worth it now that the decision's been made. I don't have to think about it anymore. I have some fresh yarn to work with. I can find a new project that'll be perfect for that. If I wouldn't have made the sweater, I would have never known that by crocheting it in the round, it was good when it was in a smaller circumference, but as it became bigger and it started just clumping together and pooling in a way that I didn't like. So I would have never known that it did that if I hadn't put those hours into it. So kind of excited that there was that learning curve for me. So I'm now in a position where I need a crochet sweater for my first quarter. I did find one, and let me show it to you guys. It's by Drops Design. If you guys are familiar with them, they have free patterns usually, and then they attach. They usually try to get you to buy their yarn to go with it. So this is the pattern that I chose. It's the Sandcastle. Sandcastle top drops 232-39. So it's kind of a harder pattern to read. It's basically got the descriptions, and then it's basically a diagram. Okay, so here's your pattern. Orange, you have this one as well. And then you have a key that tells you what each one of those represent and how to do them. And then, let's see, just some tips and tricks in their pattern. So here's a closer view of just the pattern of the sweater. I just think it's so cute. So I ordered it. I ordered the yarn. The yarn's on its way. I don't think it was the exact yarn because it's a cotton yarn, and I just got done working with a cotton, and I wanted to move on to something else. So I ordered a cotton linen. So it's a mix between the cotton and the linen, which is still in their size 3 category. But I couldn't wait for it. You know, it's really hard to wait for your yarn. And I came across some yarn that was in my stash that I thought I would try. So I gauged it up, and it worked out pretty good when I held 2 of them together. So this is the Wool-like yarn by Loops and Thread. It's a number 1. And it's so squishy and soft. So I had 4 of them. So I'm holding them two of them together, and I'll show you how far I've gotten. I'm already loving it. I think when my yarn comes, I'm still gonna make it in the linen because this is more of a sweater type, more of a woolly sweater. So it'll be great for spring, and I think with the cotton linen, it's gonna be a really nice summer one. So this also has a long sleeve version. So I chose the short sleeve. So depending on how much yarn, which I'm thinking I'm going to have enough yarn, and if I decide to, I will turn that into the long sleeve version once I'm done with the other one, because I'm not really big on sleeves. My one that I knitted, I did do a 3/4 sleeve, which was supposed to be a long sleeve, but I cut it off too early. So that was something else I learned on one of my sweaters. I should have made them just a little bit longer because I kind of cut it off at the elbow. So now it kind of bunches up here and it cuts into my elbow. So that's one of the things that I learned by doing these sweaters. So I'm super excited for this one. This one is teaching me a lot more about chart reading, which I kind of already knew. But this is an English, no, this is, what is drops? Is it German? I'll have to check into that. But sometimes the crossover between reading the pattern to the American version from the other version, some things get dropped and they kind of get confused. So you got to know how to read it or be able to work through it. So without further ado, let me show you how it's working up. There it is. Isn't that cute? So I haven't gotten down to the sleeve yet for the cutoff. There's going to be another repeat of this here. This portion right here where it's going to make the ridge, and then it'll be these 2, and I think 1 row. And then it might continue on with a few more of these rows until it hits a certain length. And then I'm going to cut into for the sleeves. So it'll just kind of sit. It's a cat's short sleeve. So I'm already liking it, but I can already feel that it's going to be nice and warm. And I can put it over a long sleeve. But there it is. Isn't it super cute? I'm super excited, and I'm not going to have any issues with making this again. In fact, I was thinking that when my other yarn comes in, if there's anybody that's interested, because you'll see this one, if there's anybody that's interested, maybe I will make this on my channel and be able to explain the chart as we go. For anybody that would like help on learning how to read a chart and or just to make it, because here's the chart. And it's a free pattern. Again, you're going to download it and you'll look at their yarn and either buy their yarn or, which is a very good price, buy the yarn that they suggest, or you can find a yarn that'll work. So if anybody's interested, let me know. I'll be doing my next one will be in the linen and cotton. But I just couldn't wait, and it's turning out great. So that's my crochet sweater. That'll be my first quarter crochet sweater. So that's where we're at with that one. My replacement. And then my knit sweater I had decided was going to be the Ranunculus. Now I ordered some yarn for that as well, but you know, I can't wait, and it's got some parts in it that I'm not real sure about, so I kind of want to play around with some yarn that that I'm not too worried about. Again, this is going to be the Ranunculus. I'm doing it in a heavier weight, so it'll be a 4. This is in lace or fingering. If it's in fingering weight, the middle one is lace weight, and then the last one is a lightweight fingering. So this is where I got. I did my gauge swatch, so this yarn will work for what I was looking for. But here's where I ran into a problem. What happened here? So this was the cast on is called, it's chained method. It's a chained method. Let's see, waist yarn, crochet hook, and main needle with chained method. So you crochet 30 stitches. No. Anyways, it just has 2 different ones. Oh, it's a double twist loop cast on. That's what I'm doing. No, it's not. I am doing the crocheted chain method, because I wanted the smaller one. And some of those necklines, they were really stretched out, and I don't want my shoulders, I don't want boat shoulders. I like it to be a little wider, just not to where it's going to stretch all the way down. My fiber that I'm using is pretty stretchy, so I decided to go with the smaller collar. So even if I still make this in the other yarn, I'm still going to want to wear this, even though it's a practice one. I've seen online that there's quite a few people that have made so many of these sweaters. I'm thinking that once I get the hang of it, I'll probably be doing the same thing. So the reason I didn't get any further is that I have my needles, but when I did the cast on, it didn't come all the way around. So I had to order myself a new set of needles. So I went ahead and got the ChiaoGoo in a 10-inch with a 16. So let's open that and take a look at what we've got. I liked it because when you're doing the smaller circumference, your needles are you still can sometimes pull that taunt, and it's a little tight for me. So these actually have the design of being bent, so that when you're working, you're not like this trying to get to the tips of each one. It's just right, a nice round circumference. So that's them, and these are also the ones that I bought, the needles that I got for my 9-inch circular socks when I get around to it. So that's what I'm going to cast those on. And again, this is with that yarn that I found. It's an acrylic yarn that I found at Hobby Lobby. It's the Yarn Bee Simply Flawless, and it's a number 3. And it's in this kind of peachy pink color. I don't know if it's really showing up quite the right color. Let's see. It's pretty close to the color there. It's kind of a neutral color. So that's the one I'm going to be casting on for that, now that my needles are here. So I'll get my next sweater going on that one. And then what else did I get? I also purchased, when I was doing my last sweater, I didn't have enough cables, so I got a couple of cables. Some of them look pretty big, and some of them look like they're a 22-inch, and then this one is, so that's a 22. And this one's a lot bigger. I can't see the measurement. So anyways, I got those two as well for some of my other sweaters, or even putting something on hold. I don't have very many I-cords. So I think that's pretty much everything that's going on with me here. I am doing a on YouTube. We've got a group of YouTubers that are making the same project, and it's a crochet basket. It's a hoot owl basket, and it's free from your inspirations, and we're kind of taking and dividing a month up and building that together. So every Thursday I post a video on it. I post the first one that I did, and that I'll link that in the description box if you guys are at all interested. So that's one of the other things that I'm doing. Outside of that, just working. I'm back to my 10-hour days now. I did a gradual increase, so I went to my 10-hour days last week. So that's going to cut down on some of my crocheting, and knitting, even though we've had some time off with being sick. I just haven't felt like picking up the needles much. But it'll get better. And I think that's just about it. I do have a video that I'm working on right now. My camera, I lost a lot of footage on my phone camera. It just took a dump on me and dumped a bunch of my videos, so I have to start over. And it's going to be a group of crocheted sweaters and a group of knit sweaters. So I'm doing 5 of each. And I was wondering, do you guys think that I should just do, for you guys that crochet only, do you want to just see the crocheted sweaters in its own video, and then I'll do the knit in its own video? Or do you want to see them intermingled? Do you want to see what each one has to offer? Or I can keep them separated. And I don't have a problem doing both. It would give me more airtime, and it will shorten the videos to where they're not a half an hour, 45 minutes long. It makes it a little bit easier to watch. So let me know. Should I intermix the knit and crochet sweaters that I'm going to be showing? Or would you like to see a crochet version and a separate one as a knit version? So comment below, let me know. And then I was challenged to do the crochet a chain in 60 seconds. How many can you do? I lost the footage to that one too, so I'll be posting that one too. Okay, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, I do appreciate everybody that gave me the well wishes, because I was so sick last week. I do appreciate everybody that chimed in and let me know that they were hoping that I'd feel better. I feel much better now. And thank you so very much. Okay, I shall talk soon. All right, bye-bye.